Ask Reddit.
What are you still mad about? When I was 7, I spent the night at my cousin's house. Before dinner, my uncle led the prayer. When he finished, my cousin blurted so P had his eyes open while you prayed. So my uncle railed on me about how it's disrespectful to have your eyes open while you pray. I said how did he know my eyes were open if his eyes were closed? My uncle told me I couldn't have dessert. I never had my eyes open during the prayer. Bitch. Back in my junior year history class, we were writing an open book quiz. I dropped my pencil and it bounced under the desk of a guy next to me. He noticed and picked it up. My teacher immediately failed both of us for cheating. The quiz was maybe 5% of our grade, and it was 20 years ago, but it still burns my grits. When I was in 2nd grade, I asked my teacher permission to go to the bathroom. She said yes. When I came back, I got in trouble for leaving the classroom without permission. When my son was 3, this big kid pushed him off the top of a bouncy house slide, then jumped on top of him, breaking his arm. I ran over to my son while my friend confronted the kid's dad. When told his son broke my kid's arm, the dad laughed. Stupid parents raise stupid kids. When I was in kindergarten, my school had a student Olympics where all the kids would participate in physical competitions, like sprinting and jump ropes or other kid-friendly competition. I was in the lead for the sprinting competition and it was the final lap. I was gonna win. I was so close. But one of my classmates ran behind me and shoved me down, making my knee bleed profusely. I don't care that I was injured. I'm just pissed that that dipshit won. He didn't even get in trouble. I'm still pissed about that. F you, Michael. We had a classroom pet lizard in the 3rd grade. I went to the pencil sharpener during class and noticed that it had been frightened and detached its tail. Something we learned about lizards when they brought it into the classroom. I loudly gasped when I saw it and received after-school detention for disrupting the class. I was an 8-year-old that was punished for seeing something scary to me. Still angry. Bank of America doing their best to F up my home loan 10 years ago. Even though it eventually was sorted out, my blood pressure rises every time I think about it. When I was in the 6th grade, I had trouble with math, and as such, tended to ask a lot of questions in class. Once, when we were reviewing something, I think it was algebra, I raised my hand to ask a question because I didn't understand, and the teacher said, in an annoyed tone and totally serious, "Oh, geez. I guess you can bring a horse to water but you can't make it drink." Embarrassed me to the point where I never asked questions in that class again and ended up just barely passing. I'm 25 now, and it still makes me mad. F you, Mrs. Magnuson. I quietly asked a friend for pencil lead in math class once and my teacher laid into me for talking over him, but I needed the lead to write notes or I'd fall behind. I'm a teacher now and I constantly remind myself and others that kids being disruptive is almost never malicious. They just need something. Only being invited to my in-laws' house because they need something technology related fixed under the guise of food. LOL. Man, you're onto something there. I remember getting stuck in the basement doing tech support during freaking holidays. What's for Christmas? Billy gets a new sweater. Bert gets new boots. Chrissy gets new cookware. Idiosyncrasy gets to spend 5 hours in the basement trying to clean out porn viruses from a MacBook. I graduated in 2008, in the middle of that recession. There were no jobs available because I was magically overqualified with my college degree and underqualified with no experience. I got one interview and I was perfect for the job, but the employer said that I lived too far away. The commute would have been an hour and 10 minutes. But I was willing to move because I had just finished school and there was nothing keeping me in my college town. The interviewer just kept shaking his head saying that's too far of a drive. Dude, fucking listen to me. It would have been an awesome job. So back when I was in kindergarten, my class has a huge snitch. We were doing arts and crafts and I ended up getting her as a partner. She said my name and when I turned around the string I was holding ended up hitting her in the arm. A string. And she cried and told the teacher. Had to move my clip down. And my parents kept telling me don't hit people. After all that I still hate her. When I was at university, my sister's school had a fundraising thing where they accepted donations for them to sell off in a car boot sale. My mum gave away my entire book collection without letting me know. This included a book that my granddad gave to me when I turned 15 where he wishes me the best, a couple from teachers after I left their class, and a few that I exchanged with friends when I graduated secondary school. We gave each other a copy of some of our favorite books. I know I'm a nerd. I only found out months later with no way to track them down. Being the only second grade class in the history of my school to miss out in the annual apple picking trip, all because a group of boys had been consistently acting out for a while. The teachers believed the best way to punish them was to pull the field trip from everyone. Of course, the boys didn't learn anything from it, and I was left quite bitter.